Good morning everyone, welcome to our latest installment of Coffee and Card Reveals. So, on today's episode we have got the white and the green soldier elf cards revealed. And, well, I think they're a hell of a lot better than the yellow-red stuff. That's not true, they're more obviously better. I think there's a lot more like obvious synergies and stuff with these. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing is we've got this 2/1 base minion, soldier elf. It's white, green. This is literally just for you to have your dual-colored mana. I don't think any of the decks will run it, to be honest, and we'll sort of see why as we go on. But I think by and large the minions are a lot better for this archetype. And we've got the second base minion, which is Bundy the Mercenary. This has the base when placed, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. And the second one, white or green base minion. Reveal it to your opponent, add it to your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any random order. This is reasonably likely to go off if you're running like 7 to 8 base minions. If you're running 8 base minions, then reasonably likely. But again, nothing spectacular. I'd rather run this over the other one because like I do value like a 1 DP to like potentially plus to hand here. Or like not neg, I suppose. But again, you are paying a pretty hefty premium for that double mana there. So is it worth it? I am hesitant. We shall see. But yeah, I'm not confident this is that good. But again, bear in mind you're going to be able to run loads of really great consistency tools. For example, you can run like the white swan thing to get white mana. It's like search into your base. You can run like a focus on more green mana if you do that. It'll be fine. You can run this if you want to just instantly basically be good to go for the game as far as like the mana goes, but yeah. Okay, then we've got our first 2-drop here. You can play this with either white or green. Bundy the Mercenary. When summoned, you can reduce your movement by 1. If you do, place 1 white or green mana into your base in the rest state. I think this is really solid. And on your opponent's turn, for each of your forces, this minion gets plus 200 BP. So that's, you know, not bad. On your opponent's turn, it'll be a 5/1. So that's quite a threatening blocker, especially like that early in the game. And I am a fan of this card because something you often, well, I will need to test, but it ramps you, so you know that's never a bad thing. And in Soldier, one of the bigger problems you often find yourself facing is a lack of white mana. So if you wanted to just run this in pure Soldier, I think this could be good, but I do think a lot of the issues have been fixed with the new wave of support, so I'm not 100% convinced. But in the straight like elf, I believe the way this deck will function will be more elf focused with some good white cards thrown in. I think this is good. It's a ramping 2-drop, and it can be a big blocker, so what's not to like? Then we've got Shot the Mercenary. This just is a 1-drop that enters the rest state when it moves to base, so of course you do need to have coloured mana for this. Will it be run? Potentially. I think there is a reasonable argument that you might run this, but you probably wouldn't. You'd probably want to be prioritising stuff that pluses you, and it's not that hard to colour fix in this deck, so this is a bit less valuable. Okay, then we've got Alga Mercenaries. So this is Resurge on Soldier Elf. When summoned, you can place a white or green minion from your hand into your base in the rest state. Then that card's when placed effect activates. So you can see this is definitely like a lot better for pure elves, right? You place like an Ove into base or something and it triggers. That's really nice. This is going to ramp you. It is, of course, conditional ramp, but it doesn't take up your movement or anything, so that's sort of what you're paying for that. And I think it's quite good. And it's easy to sort of force this to work by just placing like a neutral mana and like planning around it. So yeah, I think this is pretty strong. Having Resurge is quite nice. And again, you've got to remember, this is a lot of solid elves, solid cheap elves. So for example, with the 1 cost, sorry, that's actually something I'm massively undervalued, and I'm gonna rectify now. this card is actually probably a lot better than I'm giving it credit for. Because it's an elf, it's going to trigger Ove. And getting a 1-cost evolve for Ove is really valuable. So this is actually a card you would probably run not to play early game. You would run this to play once you've already gone into an Ove. So that is entirely my bad. I should have seen that synergy, or rather, I should have not forgotten that synergy. Yes. And that sort of a thing. These all have, and being cheap, they have that value there. But yeah, this is going to ramp you. This is nice, trigger and over and all that stuff. It's a solid card. Next, we have got Heavy the Mercenary. This is a 3/2 for 4 with Pierce and passive for each one of your forces, meaning it's plus 200 BP. So a 7/2 for Piercer for 4. It's okay. It's nothing. I don't think it's anything really special. It probably wouldn't get run in. I mean, certainly in White Soldier, there's like no reason to run this. And Elves, I think, are already pretty stacked on the 4 drops. So yeah, you're probably not playing this card. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Then we've got Flynn, the Mercenary rear guard ace. So this is 4 cost with 1 white and 1 green specifically. So this is that first really specific. You've got to make sure you're running the dual deck to actually play this, or playing something that lets you play this. And this has passive. Your life and forces cannot be targeted by your opponent's effects, which is pretty big. That's going to be really nice against specific decks, like green mainly. And on your opponent's turn, damage dealt to your life and forces by your opponent's minions is reduced by 1. This effect cannot stack. So I think it's pretty clear this is really strong. Yeah, I think this is just really strong. I'm not sure how else to being able to have this passive effect on a 6/1, so it's not even really badly statted. It's giving you dual mana when it's in the base. It's an elf, so it'll trigger that synergy. It's a soldier, so you can boost it with the soldier base minions and stuff to make it bigger and scary. And you're not letting your opponent interact with your forces, which is something they might want to do, like put them in the rest state to fuck you over and stuff. And you're getting this blanket arrow wall essentially, just for this existing, is pretty damn good. And let's not forget that you can make this just totally immune. If you've got the 2-drop soldier and you've got both of these boosted, for example, then it's immune. Basically everything you have is cannot be touched. Don't undervalue that. I think this is really strong. I'm pretty sure this is really strong, and I imagine it'll be pissing a lot of players off, most likely myself included, in the near future. Okay, then we've got the legendary. Sort of already talked about this, but we'll go over it again. This is Piaster, the Harmony Mercenaries Captain. Soldier Elf, this is 3 of any colour, between white and green, of course. Resurge, when summoned, if you have both white and green mana at your base, restore 3 life or 3 force points, and put all of your opponent's minions with the cost of less than or equal to the selected target's point total into the rest state. And on your turn, your white and green minions can't be selected as targets for your opponent's card effects. I think this is going to be run in mono soldiers anyway. I feel like with this card, and with soldiers, you're just going to find a way to just have that 1 green mana, which is really all you need to start really letting you abuse a lot of the stuff here, and you're definitely going to want to, because there are some more powerful cards coming as well. It could just be a question of space, I suppose. It might not even be worth it, but this is another really strong option. Turning off targeting, that's scary. That's really scary. Certainly for elves, this is another major W as a card. It's going to be really, really fucking scary to deal with. Okay, and then we've got our final 2 cards here. These were game with reveals. So this is 1 white, 1 green as well. Soldier Elf, on your turn, whenever one of your white minions attacks, you can select one of your opponent's minions that is inactive state. That minion must block during this battle. And on your turn, all your green minions gain Pierce. So that second effect is actually potentially really quite nice for a tree deck or something. It'll be reasonably easy to get this thing off in a tree deck. But the first effect, I'm not a massive fan of the first effect. I think if you're running this, it's for the second effect to just give everything Pierce, which is really scary. Like with soldiers and stuff, where they're going to be burning you if you block, so you're forcing a block, and then they're going to be piercing as well. It's pretty scary. Being able to choose what is blocking as well is really nice. You can totally screw your opponent over, so I wouldn't underestimate that either. It's just if everything you have is basically bigger than your opponent thinks anyway, then do you really care? it's I I think this card. I do think this card is good. It is like really well statted as well. 5/2 for with these effects. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. I'm not really sure what my real hang up on this card is. I just have a sort of it's good, but like kind of feeling about it. I'm not really sure why. And the final card is the final minion is Mercenary Demolitionist. This card's ridiculous. 5 cost. This is basically the biggest reason I would want to being able to play any of this stuff in mono soldiers. I would want access to green mana. When summoned, you can search your deck for 1 white or green base minion and place it in your base in the rest state, and then shuffle your deck. So this ramps you on play, and it's going to set up like your boosts and all that kind of stuff as well. And passive, whenever a white or green mana is placed into your base from your hand or your deck, so this will obviously trigger that. Banish one of your opponent's minions once per turn. So there you go. Bear in mind that will also trigger off your opponent's Stronger Force, which if your opponent doesn't play around could screw them over significantly. But yeah, this is, that's crazy. Just banish something. Super good. Like, this is literally just a ramp banish card, like on its own, which is definitely worth playing, like this level of hard removal. It's just going to be a matter of can mono soldiers play this, because I'm focusing on mono soldiers, but 1 because I care more about them, but 2 because this stuff is obviously fantastic for elves, like obviously fantastic for elves. I don't think there's any question that elves are going to be a very, very playable deck following this wave of support, and I think it'll just be interesting to see how much soldier stuff the elf deck then takes to use for its own. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do the spells here. So the first one here is Barrier Device. This is flash. Damage dealt to your life and forces is reduced by 1 for the duration of the turn. So this is like literally a better arrow wall for 1 more mana. I think this is really good. Probably like you'd probably run this in white and green in a lot of decks. It's just like blanket, like nah, I'm good, which is really, really nice. Like especially when like tribal and stuff are going to be running around, being able to just go nah, I think I'm just going to live this turn is super valuable. Especially if you play Minotaur or something, then this is going to be really, really annoying to deal with. And then Reversal Flare, main flash for 1 white and 1 green, so you imagine it's going to be powerful, and it is. Put all your opponent's minions with a cost of 5 or lower in the rest state, and then banish all your opponent's minions with a cost of 3 or lower that are in the rest state. So this would replace Nem's 0/0, for example. This, like, being able to do this effect at flash speed for cheaper. I mean, this card is so strong. Yeah, this card is really, really phenomenal, and I think it's going to see play in both decks. Yeah, super good. So my overall impressions, I suppose I'm thoroughly impressed. I think elves are going to be fantastic, and I think soldiers are going to benefit from a few of these tools, although they were already super fantastic. And I think both are very much top tier contenders. Elves could be better. Soldiers could be better. I'm legitimately not sure. I think we will have to just wait and see, but I am very excited, and I hope you guys are too. If you are, let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like on this video, sub to the channel, check the link in the description for Discord and all that kind of stuff, and I look forward to seeing you guys in tomorrow's video, where what I've been most excited for will be the vampire support, and I hope it's absolutely broken. See you then.